Yes guys, welcome to another episode of Trends, and today it's getting to know me and James a little bit more. So we've asked for all your questions on our platforms. We've got about 30 of them.
Yeah, there was more, but obviously a lot of them were similar questions or same, so we've tried to tie it up.
Yeah. So we answer 30 questions in this video, so stay tuned. This is part one of two-part video, so enjoy it and we'll see you soon. Ready?
We are ready. Thank you, cameraman. They are yours. This is completely blind, by the way.
Well, obviously we've had a little sneak peek as you've been commenting, but we don't know what order they're coming in. They've been put into envelopes. So let's...
I feel like I'm on a talk show.
Let's see what people got to say. You want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first. Stuck it down the super glue. Right. I won't put the people's names in here that actually commented. So the first one is, what's been the biggest shoe that surprised you or done better than expected?
I'd be surprised if... Oh, actually, there's been a couple in there.
Yeah, there has.
I'll go with the one... James was around in December, but he wasn't like here full time like he is now. So I'll go with the earliest one that really surprised us, which was the Jordan 4 Craft Olive.
Yeah, I did have that in mind.
I'm pretty sure I know your one. But we sold, in December we sold 3 size runs of that. And in some places, especially up Central London, they were still sitting on shelves. So I think it was a great education point for us in a shop, because obviously it's the first time we've opened one, is that what works out there doesn't always work in retail. So yeah, that was a really surprising one, and we was picking them up at great prices and making a good margin. But I think the reason it went so well is, one, it was a winter colourway, obviously in December, but two, we priced it at a point where it was accessible to a lot of people.
It's like the great entry point, isn't it?
Yeah, so I think we had most of them in December at 260. And bearing in mind we was picking up between 170 and 180. So yeah, it was a good margin for us, but it was a good buy.
Retail was 200.
It was 200, yeah. But there was a lot of people, I think they got discounts and stuff like that. So
it's going to have to be the South Metallic.
It has to be.
I think we've probably said it on like 7 or 8 episodes now.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's a great entry point in terms of price. It's a clean colourway that's accessible for any other colours you want to wear. But I just didn't expect it to...
Nah.
The fact that some of them are still sitting on shelves.
And it's seriously like unisex as well, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's more men that buy them.
We've had just as many men coming to buy them as we have had women. So that's definitely been a surprise.
I think the other one for me as well.
Go on.
Is the 350 Carbon Beluga.
Yes.
I think this is something that I learned about having a shop, is that I feel like if we didn't have one, or talking in my terms, I wouldn't have touched any 350s or tried not to hold any stock in 350s. But people love them.
Yeah.
And that's what surprised me the most, is that I mean, that must be our full size run? Something around there.
Yeah,
as well.
they've gone well.
So I wouldn't have...
I get the Onyx.
Yeah, I get the bone as well, the 350, but
yeah, the carbon for some reason. Thank you all for taking time out to put these questions through, by the way, because it is it's really helpful.
And thank you to our cameraman for giving him a job last night, at night, to write all these and put them in envelopes.
We appreciate it. Okay. How many owners are in the company? Do you withdraw a salary? Oof. We're getting into the nitty-gritty details early.
Yeah, it probably works for HMRC.
Yeah, maybe. Great question. So there are 3 owners in the company, and at the moment only James is taking a salary. and that is purely because James closed down his business to join us. So James has actually sacrificed, we won't go into numbers, but he sacrificed quite a bit of wage so that we can push on with this. And myself and we'll call them the silent owner, we actually still do full-time jobs. So a lot of people will be quite surprised at that. But I still work for a charity Monday to Thursday, and run the shop Friday to Sunday. James is here, well, contractually he's only here Monday to Thursday, but he's in a lot more than that. And again, I think it just comes down to that sacrifice. I've been in this game since 2018, and I've not really taken much money out of the business as we built it, to be honest with you. That decision is starting to pay off now, because I feel like we're getting somewhere with it. But the focus on where we're sitting today is the reason I've not taken any money out.
Part of it is that when we originally sat down and had that conversation, we was both willing to sacrifice a lot to get to where we both wanted to. So I think we set out like a 3-year plan and a 5-year plan and stuff like that of where we wanted to drive this company. And anyone that owns a business knows that it takes a lot of sacrifice. You lose a lot of hours that just go missing, but we're both willing to essentially put those hours in so that in 3 years' time it all pays off. And your most successful moment?
Wow.
We'll keep it business related.
Okay.
My answer that comes to my head was selling that Salib Embry croc that was literally worth nothing at Crep City, Glasgow, but I won't say that.
Oh, wow. Successful moment.
A few moments later.
I think mine's easy. I think in November I sat across from our shop in the cafe where we've nicked the chairs from this morning, and watched them. I think it was like 8 PM at night, pitch black, and I saw them put up the vinyls in the windows in preparation for us opening the pop-up on the 2nd of December. And it was a surreal moment, because the shop has always been one of the elements that I've wanted to achieve with the brand that we started, and to see it go up in the vinyl was pretty special, pretty
Cool
surreal.
moment.
Yeah, it was.
Previous brand or company, to merge this is a cool moment. It's definitely probably the most successful. But if I keep that situation aside, I think one of the coolest moments I've ever had is when I done my first ever sock event in the dark, blind, travelling with 3 suitcases and selling like over 400 pairs. That was a cool moment because that was a complete gamble. And I remember being laughed at by all the sellers in Milan, like, you're just selling socks. And I was like, you just wait. And then thinking, this could go terribly wrong. That was a cool moment.
Nice.
Yeah, I think doing orders, I won't list names for like certain people and stuff. That was a cool moment because it started with, like we always say, it started with one shoe, and then like getting flown to different areas to drop stuff off is cool.
Yeah, just to extend on that point, that's one of the reasons we wanted James part of the business, is because he brought different elements to what we weren't doing. So he had some VIP clients and stuff like that. So yeah, merging the different strengths of both of our organisations was a key point to that. I'm going to stick one more in, just because it was very surreal and I felt like it never stopped. We've just had a very successful London, right?
Yeah.
Crep City. So those that don't know, it's the biggest sneaker convention in Europe, basically, especially the London shows. Great shows. We travel the country doing them. So we've just had a very successful. How many did we sell this time? It was around the 50 mark,
I
right?
think it was 58.
58?
57, 58, one of them.
So we sold 57, 58 pairs in one day recently, which was really good, and we had a great day. But one of the surreal moments was a couple of years ago when we sold 102 pairs in one day.
Yeah, that's mad.
And I remember how busy we was a couple of weeks ago at Crep City, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to work out how we
If
sold even more than
If you
that.
work on a number basis, you're pretty much saying that you nearly sold double what was sold
Yeah.
at the event.
And I feel like we didn't have time to breathe it.
Yeah, it's mad.
So looking back on
That
that,
5 staff as well that day.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
if you only had 3,
yeah. Yeah. Oh, this is easy. Where's the next event you are thinking to do? I'll let you go that one.
well, in my head, I see we had a conversation. So, just very quickly, the Got Soul. If anyone knows Got Soul, we see them in London,
We did.
and we started just assuming that, oh my god, this is going to be here. Da, 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 da. And then they posted their next event, and I said to Jamie, I was like, it's definitely London. It has to be London. They've put a globe up. It means it's not the USA, and it was New York. And for a split second, I always think, oh, we should just go. But it's the complications behind it is so much
He hasn't
larger
told me this, by the
than
way.
what you know. And then I kind of sit back and think, I don't know how you're going to get 300 pairs across the US. This one's Birmingham?
It's the same weekend as
Glasgow.
Soul Block.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
What is your personal shoe collection worth?
Mine's not worth much, guys, to be honest with you. And I have had some unbelievable pairs in my size come through my hands. Some I regret, but at the same time I can't regret because this is the reason I got rid of them. The fact that me and James are sitting here now. So I would say I've literally probably got about 10, 11 pairs that I wear on rotation. I'd imagine we do resale value.
See, I was thinking this when I see the question on Instagram. There's probably about 40 odd pairs.
Whew.
But I probably wear 4 pairs.
Ridge Rock Air Max 1. Do you know that one? The quality on that shoe is unbelievable. The leather quality is crazy. Not many of you might know that one, but search it up on StockX.
I'll insert.
Yeah, we'll insert the picture.
insert
Honestly,
it right
that one I do regret because it didn't go for massive money at the time. So I wish I'd kept it because the leather quality is unbelievable.
Yeah. Also, let us
Six
know if you have personal collections and favourite pairs, what they're worth, etc.
What was your most outrageous customer and why?
The first one that comes to head is not a customer, but we call him the bag man.
Oh my god.
That's my first one.
Yeah, so we'll go into that because that can be one of ours. It can be mine if you want.
Yeah.
So we've had this guy coming in from December. I ain't seen him for a while actually. Have you seen him?
Well, he is supposed to be banned from the Romford Liberty.
I know, but he's always
But
in.
yeah, he's always snooping.
Yeah, so we've got this fella that comes in and asks us for bags. Now, from day dot in in December, a colleague said to me, do not give him a bag, whatever you do. And me being a donut, I gave him a bag. And then every other week or every couple of weeks he kept coming back, can I borrow another bag? Da, da, da. Nice enough fella. And then he's come back more in the new year. And he started asking about, are you still selling tyres? And what was it, mobile phones? And
Yeah, and then he come in with a passport. What do you think is missing from the sneaker market? My first one is community. There is community in the UK, so that's harsh to say there isn't. But I feel like compared to what you see in Europe and the US, and this is something that we want to try and build a bit of influence upon, is bringing people closer together through sneakers is a really cool one. As to how you do that, there's a million different answers and we're still trying to figure out an effective way. But I think it's a shame in the UK that there isn't more of it.
Yeah. I think shout out to some like Soul Supplier and people.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
100%.
They've done a great job at trying to bring it together.
And some of like the Facebook groups is like everyone's got each other's back, and
Yeah.
it would be nice to see it more in person. I feel like if
Yeah.
there could be a way forward.
It's true because you meet a lot of great people in the community,
Yeah.
don't you?
And you meet some people who have, like, since the age of 4 or 5, had unbelievable collections, been into it. They've got stories of families that have been into collections.
Yeah.
We had a guy ages ago come in who was like, he was friends with the owner of Supreme and Stussy, and like was showing us all these collections and bits that, from never ever seen before, pieces, and like he's walking through Romford Liberty that you'd never assume that this guy, who didn't look like he was a sneakerhead, had hundreds of friends and families, and I feel like that's missing, and we want to try and build that. My other one is, and it's no one's, well, I guess it's no one's fault. You can sit and point companies, but I guess it's just the way that the inflation's gone, is good shoes at good prices.
Yeah.
And in terms of like some of the quality of the Jordan 4s that released, like I know I see a lot of thing on the groups and communities about the quality of the Bread 4s, and then people charging £220 to buy them at retail. That money that you pay in when it used to be 160 and the quality was better.
Yeah.
I think that's missing at the market, in the minute of the market, should I say.
Yeah. Can't use envelopes. What are James and Jamie's favourite pair of Air Max 1s and why? One close to my heart.
So, it's not my favourite silhouette by far.
Yeah, you're not as big on Air Max 1s as
And
me.
I have a couple pairs, but the concept heavies have grown on me because I love that, like, every little bit's different and the detail. I just don't like how they sit on my foot, unfortunately. I've got the world's fattest feet, so that's an issue. The other one that I love, which is extortionate pricing, obviously it's friends and family, is the Parrot Air Max 1 Friends and Family. I like that, and I like the Air Max London, not London pack, is it Underground pack, I think it's called? Or the Tube pack. I'll insert a little photo.
Yeah.
But I like them.
Yeah, I think I prefer the original Paras. I prefer the detail and the colour on those, and I'm lucky enough to have those in my collection. I bought a really clean used pair this Christmas just gone. But to be honest, I was going to say the concept's heavy, just because I'm really into the art and design behind the shoe.
Yeah.
My dad's an artist, so I've grown up with having that artistical view on things, and the details, the different materials, the fact that not one are exactly the same, the detail on the stitching for the flower on the Nike tick.
Yes.
I really appreciate things like that. Like some people might see that as a Marmite shoe, but for me, the detail behind it is just absolutely incredible.
What do you think the next biggest sneaker trend will be?
That's a really good question. I mean, I think like Dior have done their thing.
Yeah.
They've almost tried to blend streetwear and designer wear into one, haven't they, with some of their silhouettes. So, but maybe that's already been. I can see more of that, to be honest.
Yeah, I can see. I was also in my head when I see the question yesterday. I was like, Asics, but they're all. I feel like it's already in trend now.
Yeah, they're saying the next thing.
One thing that I think will come back, and I see the demand on Yeezy, is like sneaker boots this year.
Do you reckon? Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a little like feeling, a little hunch on it. That,
For those winter months.
yeah, I know that like some people rock it and some people don't, but I feel like you'll see more sneaker boots this year.
Interesting.
not so. I'm not talking like the high platform Balenciaga stuff. I don't know. You know, like they used to do like the Air Force One boots and stuff. I've just got a feeling it's coming that way.
I think a lot of brands are going to do that hybrid.
Yeah.
So I've done it, didn't they, with the low mills?
Yeah.
Which at one stage were going absolutely mental.
Before they properly released before Christmas, the numbers was
yeah.
insane.
So I think you might see more of that comfort mixed in with design.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of next, we'll go with James's because I'm really not sure. I keep up to date with things, but I'm not one for innovative thinking, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So where do you start or how to start reselling and buying bulk trainers to make a profit?
It's like them adverts. Follow our cook guide.
I think me or James, either of us started in bulk.
No.
So one thing I would say with bulk is you need to have capital. So
Yeah.
if you're asking that question, you must have capital if you're going to get into bulk. Because otherwise it becomes, you're not going to be able to get bulk without capital, right?
No, I also wouldn't focus on bulk at the minute because I feel like everyone establishes different customers and different needs in their own way. And going with that bulk option is you could spend £2,000 on a shoe that is in demand and hyped, but necessarily it's not your customer base.
Yeah.
And I know that a lot of people sell on platforms and stuff, but then it's flipping it back, and then before you know it, that capital's tied up. And
yeah. That being said, though, if you are one of those people that have got capital spare, bulk is a great way to keep turning over money.
yeah,
As long as you can find the right places to sell to or to consign with. That'd be the main thing, is know what you're buying, which takes time, by the way. I'm sure me and James can both testify to buying some absolute rough pairs,
been a few stickers.
investing into some bad pairs. And that only gets better if you try and educate yourself. So my way of educating myself was YouTube. I used to watch ridiculous amounts of YouTube. Keith Adam, you know Keith Adam?
Yeah.
So the first cook group I joined was an American cook group, Endurance. He's a cook group.
Yeah.
But he's very good at updating what he thinks market's going to happen, and so I still watch his videos today. And then just people like us that we're in the shop and selling. If you see things that are going well, but yeah, you really need to know your market before you get into bulk. The last thing you want to do is spend $3 or $4 grand on a silhouette that you think's going to do well but actually doesn't, because then, like James says, then you're stuck. But if you spend $3 or $4 grand on the right shoe that you know you can get a little margin from, get rid of it quickly and then get on to the next one, then great. And the other side of it is something that me and James can get into long term, is pairs that historically we know do well over time, just chucking them in a warehouse, leaving them there for 6 to 9 months,
Yeah.
and then pushing them back out.
There was a time out of COVID where you could go into any shop, buy any Dunk, any Jordan 1, and the time you put it on Laced or put it on your Instagram, it had sold. And you was making £60, £70 and you was buying 5-6 pairs a day. Sadly, it's not like that at the minute, and it's very easy for people to buy the wrong product. So I definitely say find a cook group, but one of the things that is important with cook groups is finding one that is tailored to what you want to do. So not one that's Amazon based or Forex trading, or if you want it purely for sneakers, you have to do your research in which one is gonna.
And there's certain ones that are better for online, certain ones are better in store.
Yeah.
So like you say, it's really doing your research, right? Thank you so much for being with us for part 1. Hope you've enjoyed learning a little bit more about me and James and our journey. And
Or hating us.
hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully not.
And yes, part 2 will be out on
Thursday 6 PM.
Thursday 6 PM. So stay tuned, and we hope you enjoy part 2.
Yeah, if you want to see another one of these videos in the near future as well, drop a comment and let us know. If you even want to ask us a question if you missed out in the comments,
we can
feel free to drop one. We can always answer you by comment or make a little clip in our upcoming YouTube videos. And I did post it in the last video as well, but if there's videos that you want to see of us guys that you don't see, I know a lot of it's cashing out on customer interaction, but if you want to see maybe a behind the scenes or what we get up to, maybe that you don't always see on camera, or yeah, just anything tailored around the sneaker business, just let us know and we will try to accommodate everyone and make a video.